You know what makes my blood absolutely boil? When someone who claims to be your friend, your partner, your sister in this business, stabs you in the back the second you're not around to defend yourself. Jade Cargill has been running her mouth on Raw for weeks, acting like SHE was the star of their tag team, acting like SHE carried Bianca Belair, acting like Bianca's injury was the best thing that ever happened to her career. She's been out there collecting wins, taking credit, and disrespecting the EST of WWE like Bianca wouldn't find out, like Bianca wouldn't come back, like there wouldn't be consequences. Well, guess what happened backstage on Raw? Bianca Belair returned, and what she did to Jade Cargill was nothing short of obliteration. This wasn't a friendly reunion, this was a reckoning. And after you see what went down, you're going to understand why this moment changes everything for the women's division moving forward. The setup for this explosion has been building for months, and if you haven't been paying attention, let me catch you up on why what happened backstage is the most justified beatdown we've seen all year. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were the dominant women's tag team on Raw. They were unstoppable, they were credible, they had chemistry that you can't fake. They won the women's tag team championships and looked like they'd hold those belts for a year. Then Bianca suffered an injury, a legitimate injury that required surgery and rehab time. She had to relinquish her half of the titles and step away from the ring. Now, here's what a real partner, a real friend would do in that situation. They'd hold down the fort, they'd keep Bianca's name alive, they'd make it clear that once Bianca returns, they're getting those titles back together. But that's not what Jade Cargill did. Oh no. Jade saw Bianca's injury as an opportunity. She started doing backstage interviews talking about how she's finally free to show what she can do as a singles competee. Quick question for you. When did you first suspect that Jade Cargill was going to turn on Bianca Belair? Drop the exact moment in the comments because I want to see if you caught the signs early. The disrespect escalated week after week. Jade would cut promos about being that girl and the real star of the tag team. She'd dismiss questions about Bianca's recovery timeline. She started a singles run and acted like she'd been doing it all along, completely erasing the fact that Bianca elevated her, taught her the WWE system, and vouched for her when she first arrived from AEW. This is what bothers me about Jade's entire attitude. She came to WWE with hype and potential, but it was Bianca who helped her translate that into actual success. And this is how she repays her. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair was at home rehabbing her injury, watching every single episode of Raw, seeing every interview, catching every subtle dig. You know she was taking notes. You know she was getting angrier by the week. You know she was counting down the days until she could return and confront Jade face to face. Because that's who Bianca is. She's not going to send cryptic tweets or do passive-aggressive interviews. She's going to show up and handle her business. And that's exactly what happened backstage on Raw. No advance warning, no publicized return, no elaborate entrance. Bianca just showed up. Jade Cargill was in the middle of a backstage interview, talking about her upcoming singles match, probably saying something dismissive about her past tag team success, when Bianca appeared behind her. The look on Jade's face when she turned around and saw Bianca standing there was priceless. Pure shock mixed with fear mixed with the realization that she'd been talking all that trash and now had to back it up. Here's a question. Did Jade Cargill deserve what Bianca did to her? Or should Bianca have taken the high road? Comment your honest take because this is going to split the audience. Bianca didn't say a word at first. She just stared at Jade with this cold, calculated expression that said everything that needed to be said. The interviewer awkwardly tried to ask Bianca about her return, but Bianca wasn't there for interviews. She was there for justice. And then, without warning, Bianca grabbed Jade by her hair. That long, beautiful hair that Jade's so proud of, and slammed her face first into the production crate beside them. The sound echoed through the backstage area. Production staff scattered. Security started rushing toward them, but not fast enough. Bianca wasn't done, not even close to done. She yanked Jade up, whipped her into the concrete wall, and started laying in strikes that you could hear from the gorilla position. Body shots, forearm strikes. She was unleashing months of pent-up frustration and betrayal in the most visceral way possible. Jade tried to fight back. Give her credit for that, but she was completely overwhelmed. Bianca had the advantage of surprise, the advantage of righteous anger, and frankly, the advantage of being the superior overall performer. Jade got in maybe 2 or 3 shots before Bianca cut her off with a spinebuster onto the concrete floor that made everyone watching wince. The camera crew caught all of this, by the way. Every brutal second. WWE's going to replay this footage for weeks, probably set it to dramatic music and turn it into a video package. But in the moment, watching it happen live, it felt raw, pun intended. Felt real. It felt like 2 women who genuinely had issues to settle, not a scripted segment designed to get them both over. That authenticity is what made it so compelling. Trivia time. Can you remember the last time we saw a backstage brawl between women that was this physical and brutal? Drop your answer in the comments. Security finally managed to separate them, but even then, Bianca was fighting against the security guards, trying to get back at Jade, screaming that Jade brought this on herself, that betrayal has consequences, that she should have kept Bianca's name out of her mouth. Meanwhile, Jade was being held back by different security guards, bleeding from her mouth, her ring gear torn, looking absolutely destroyed both physically and emotionally. The beauty of this segment is that it makes both women look strong in different ways. Bianca looks like an absolute monster, the kind of wrestler you do not want to cross because she will hunt you down and make you pay. Jade looks resilient for even trying to fight back against someone as motivated and skilled as Bianca. And most importantly, this segment creates an instant blood feud that can sustain multiple matches and months of storytelling. Now let's talk about what this means for both women moving forward. For Bianca Belair, this return is everything. She's been gone for months, and the biggest question about any returning wrestler is always, will they come back with the same intensity and fire they had before? Well, Bianca just answered that question emphatically. She's back, she's angry, and she's clearly not interested in feel-good reunion storylines. She wants revenge. She wants to destroy the woman who disrespected her. And that makes her the most dangerous person in the women's division. For Jade Cargill, this is a defining moment in her WWE career. Up until now, she's been protected, dominant in her matches, rarely taking major losses, presented as an unstoppable force. But getting demolished by Bianca backstage exposes vulnerability. It shows that Jade can be hurt, can be overwhelmed, can be humbled. That's actually good for her character long-term because invincible characters are boring. Now Jade has motivation. She has to prove she's not just talk. Prove she can hang with the absolute best. Prove that she didn't need Bianca's help to succeed. Another question. Who do you think wins the first singles match between Bianca and Jade? And should it happen at a premium live event or on Raw? Let me know in the comments. The immediate aftermath of this backstage obliteration is going to be fascinating. Does WWE suspend both women for fighting backstage? Do they turn this into an unsanctioned match because management can't control them? Do they make them earn the right to face each other by going through other opponents first? All of these options are on the table, and honestly, any of what WWE absolutely cannot do is cool this feud down or have them settle it with a handshake and a hug after one match. This needs to be a blood feud. Multiple matches across multiple months, escalating stipulations, genuine hatred between both competitors. This is the kind of rivalry that could main event premium live events if WWE commits to it fully. These are 2 of the most physically impressive women on the entire roster. Both have legitimate star power, both can talk, both can work. Give them the time and the platform to create something special. The women's division on Raw has been somewhat directionless recently, and this feud could be exactly what's needed to inject energy and purpose into the entire division. Because here's the thing, when Bianca and Jade are feuding over personal issues, that creates opportunities for other women to step up and challenge for championships. It opens up the division rather than closing it off. And if this feud is booked correctly, it elevates everyone involved through proximity to compelling television. Let's talk about the storytelling here, because this is actually good wrestling storytelling. Something WWE doesn't always deliver consistently. This feud has history. These women were tag team champions together. They had each other's backs. Bianca mentored Jade when she first arrived. All of that history makes the betrayal sting deeper and the violence feel justified. This isn't "we're fighting because the writers said so." This is "we're fighting because you disrespected everything we built together." The motivations are clear. Bianca wants revenge for being disrespected during her injury. Jade wants to prove she's not just Bianca's sidekick but a star in her own right. Those motivations are simple, relatable, and compelling. Fans can understand where both women are coming from even if they disagree with Jade's methods. That's nuanced character work that makes for must-see television. Here's another question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did this segment increase your interest in the women's division on Raw? Give me a number in the comments. The physicality of the backstage brawl needs to be acknowledged because WWE has historically been hesitant about letting women be this violent. There's often this perception that women's wrestling needs to be safer, more controlled, more appropriate than men's wrestling. But moments like this prove that audiences want to see women in intense, brutal, physical confrontations just as much as they want to see men in those situations. Bianca and Jade beating the hell out of each other backstage legitimizes them as fighters, not just performers. Social media exploded after this segment. And I mean exploded. Bianca Belair was trending worldwide within minutes. Jade Cargill's name was everywhere. Wrestling fans, casual fans, even people who don't normally watch WWE were sharing clips and talking about the return. That's how you create a moment. That's how you make people care. Not through 50-50 booking and everyone gets along storylines. The beauty of this feud is that it can go in so many different directions depending on what WWE wants to accomplish. Do they want to keep Bianca as a babyface who was justifiably angry and Jade as a heel who betrayed her friend? That works. Do they want to turn this into a mutual respect rivalry where both women push each other to be better? That could work too. Do they want to create chaos where both women are so consumed by their hatred that they're both acting like heels? That's the most interesting option to me. Personally, I hope WWE lets this feud get dark. Let Bianca's anger consume her to the point where she's doing things that make fans uncomfortable. Let Jade's arrogance evolve into genuine fear and desperation as she realizes she woke up a monster she can't control. Let this be a case study in what happens when betrayal, pride, and violence collide in professional wrestling. Give us intensity. Give us stakes. Give us a reason to tune in every single week. One more question. Would you rather see Bianca versus Jade in a standard singles match, a street fight, or some other stipulation? Comment your choice and why. The implications for the women's tag team championships are interesting too. If Bianca and Jade were champions when Bianca got injured, and now they're feuding, does that mean the tag team division on Raw is wide open? What frustrates me is that eventually WWE has a history of starting incredible feuds like this, and then either reclaim them too quickly or ruining someone else with bad booking, only to have Bianca. We've seen it happen so many times. There are layers to the story that WWE can explore if their fans are invested, and then WWE either cools it down for no reason or has them team up against a common enemy before the feud is properly resolved. If that happens here, it'll be a massive waste of potential. The roster reactions are going to be key moving forward too. Who sides with Bianca? Who sides with Jade? Are there women in the locker room who feel like Bianca went too far? Are there women who think Jade deserved everything she got? Those dynamics can create secondary feuds and storylines that make the entire division feel interconnected and alive. That's how you build a division rather than just a collection of individual wrestlers. Let me ask you this. The in-ring matches between Bianca and Jade are going to be allies or enemies. Both women are incredibly athletic and physically impressive. Drop your picks in the comments, but they have different styles. Bianca is the superior technical wrestler with more experience in WWE's system. Jade has the raw power and intimidation factor. Their matches need to tell the story of Bianca's skill and experience versus Jade's strength and determination. That contrast is what will make their matches compelling rather than just two strong women hitting each other with power moves. I'm hoping WWE gives them time in their matches, 20+ minutes on premium live events, not 8-minute TV matches that barely get started before they're over. This feud deserves the main event treatment. These women deserve to show what they can do when given a proper platform. And fans deserve to see a rivalry that feels important, that feels like it matters to the trajectory of both careers. The promo exchanges between Bianca and Jade could be absolutely legendary if WWE lets them speak from the heart. Bianca is naturally charismatic and can cut emotional promos that make you feel her passion. Jade has developed her promo skills significantly and can deliver intensity when needed. Put them in the ring together with microphones and let them express their genuine feelings about the betrayal, the disrespect, the violence. That's must-see television. The return of Bianca Belair and the obliteration of Jade Cargill backstage on Raw isn't just a shocking you want to see in this feud. It's the beginning of what could be the best women's feud of 2025. A storyline, development, clear motivation scenario, incredible athletes, and the potential for months of compelling television. This is the kind of rivalry that creates stars that people remember years later, that becomes part of both women's legacy. But it only works if WWE commits. They need to give this feud the time, the platform, and the creative attention it deserves. They need to let Bianca and Jade go out there and deliver without overproducing every segment or interfering with their natural chemistry as rivals. They need to understand that this is what fans want. Not 50-50 booking and friends, who sometimes fight, but real feuds with real consequences. Bianca Belair just announced to the entire women's division that she's back and she's not here to play nice. Jade Cargill just learned that actions have consequences and betrayal comes with a price. And we, as fans, just got the gift of what could be the most intense women's rivalry WWE has produced in years. Make sure you're subscribed to SUPLEX Ring Saga because we're covering every development in this feud as it unfolds. Smash that like button if Bianca's return gave you chills. And get in those comments with all your thoughts.